We are in Costa Rica, and already expectations are being challenged as we make our way to camp. Well, we're in Costa Rica, which is the good thing, and that border actually went pretty smooth. It's like Arizona dry, Texas dry, and we've gone by 2 fires. There is obviously another fire right here. There's signs on the road that say no, no smoking, no fires. We just got off the phone just a few minutes ago with our contact. We got a guy, Adrian, coming in. He reached out to us and said, hey, when you guys come through Costa Rica, let's go do some trails and stuff. So we're excited, and who knows, maybe we will just get into some jungles and good trails.
Hola!
Adrian.
Adrian.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Steve.
Herman, what's up?
What was your name?
Herman.
Herman, nice to meet you, man.
Hi.
Hello.
So you spend a fair bit of time in the hills here in Costa Rica?
I mean, probably every weekend.
Every weekend, good. You're my kind of guy. Yeah, that's us back home. While the guys talk Toyotas, Steve, Kyle, and myself are preparing a special meal.
Tonight we are making chicken. And what we're going to do is we're going to marinate it in some fresh lime juice with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic. And then Clay is going to help with making some potatoes.
So in our thought process when we were building these trucks, one of the big things that we thought through was the kitchen. Because we spend a lot of time here. What we came up with was pretty simple actually. Just a slide allows your fridge to come out. The access right here. What's nice about this fridge is it's stainless steel, so you can use it as a cook surface. You can clean it. And then underneath it, the stove slides out and allows you to cook right here. Then we have our tailgate, which we use often as a prep surface. I guess if we were to make any addition to it, we would add a separate camp table. We are excited to have some new people in camp. And Adrian and Herman are quite the guys. Adrian owns the largest off-road shop in Costa Rica, and Herman works for one of Costa Rica's off-road magazines.
No, you service. You are our guest. You are our guest.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for helping us.
No, it's a pleasure. Really like what you're doing.
Thank you.
For wheeling, probably we can find some mud because it's a lot of green stuff, and I know a friend of mine that...
We want some challenge with the rigs, but we need to be careful. They're not even halfway through their trip, considering that they will have to be driven back to the US, hopefully from the very end of the road in Panama. In the morning, we eat a good breakfast, get all our maps in order, and set up our HEMA navigators for our departure to the east. The terrain quickly transitions out of the dry coastal region to tropical mountains. The roads are in amazing shape and are far better than our previous week's traveling through Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua.
The last time we had a car wash was in La Paz, Mexico, which means we have 5 countries of dirt just plastered on our cars. And got all that washed off. It's like a fresh new slate. And now we're going into Costa Rica. So it's kind of cool to think about like the reset of all the dirt that we gathered over the past 5-6 countries. And it's just like reset, let's find some more trail.
We're in the foothills of the Arenal volcano, and we are gonna go through a ranch that they have an internal trail that allowed us to go and really reach. It will be the closest road that you can get to the Volcano Arenal.
Less than a kilometer into the trail, the jungle rears its head and gives us an unwelcome wake-up call.
Crikey!
A lot of stuff.
Well, let's go look at it.
We want a winch with Rufio, so we need to bring it down a ways, like a little off this side over here. In fact, butt the front wheels up against this would be perfect.
Boy.
Yep, be a good stop.
And we're gonna get your front tires
right about here. Obviously we don't want to slip off the side, but let's get you right down here. Keep coming. Stay on that, stay on that, stay on that, stay on that. Right there. Okay, so we're gonna need a snatch block, a D-ring, a tree saver, and get the winch all fired up. We're gonna go down and pinch around the one tree, so we need a tree saver around the upper tree.
We got
something
another
to
one
sling
right here. Another tree saver right
If
here.
we have another one, let's grab it. Yeah, you bet. Yep, we're ready to have that down.
The brush is thick, and the critters within are less than friendly.
See the size of those ants?
Yeah.
Oh, we sent Jeff in.
You okay? I just got a huge ant on my finger. Bit through the glove. I'm not even mad, I'm impressed.
Okay, now we gotta have everyone back. Yep, we're good, rigging's good. It's gonna kind of pull tight.
There it is.
Go ahead and let off a little bit.
Go through the other one.
The other tree, the higher tree.
That
Yep.
one, yeah.
Just so we get a good, better angle on it. We've got most of the big logs pushed away, and now we've reset the snatch block and re-angled the forerunner for a better pull angle on the drum. Meanwhile, I'm in the truck with the gear in neutral, the transmission in neutral, my foot on the brake, and also have the e-brake on, just my foot on the brake for safety. In case something goes weird, there's always somebody in the vehicle. And there's no tension being put directly on the transmission.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, stop. Let's shorten one out. Yep. Let's topple it the other. A whole ton of stuff. About 50 feet worth of down trees. Winched some, broke some, cut some, macheted some, and we're down to like the last little snarl here. And we're gonna drive these forerunners through. Looking good. This side's gonna come up a little bit, but it's all fine. Let me watch trees on this side. All good, man, all good.
I feel like I could do this for days and days on end. This is fun. At least if you're in the heat, it's good to be sweating because you're working. So we're having a blast.
As we make our way up the trail, periodic rain makes the vegetation slick. Our grabbers do their work and move us up the steep trail. Kyle is the most novice of drivers amongst us, and he takes the wheel behind Rufio. Here he's learning the balance between traction and momentum.
How many times in life can you go off-road at the base of a volcano? It's mind-boggling. It's amazing. You can't get up here unless you have a 4x4 and have permission to even be here.
trail's top end, a very special spot is revealed to us. A remote church the landowner built for his family. We can't go any further from this point. It wasn't long ago that some scientists died from poisonous gases not far from here, up the volcano. Night is about to fall, and our time is limited. The jungle is not always the friendliest of places when the sun goes down. It's a bit eerie, wheeling in the jungle at night. Sometimes you feel like something might jump out at you at any moment.
Off the top of it.
Yeah, good idea. Well, I've seen this before. Pull the bottom out, and falls in the middle, you can drive right over you guys. Think so?
Yeah. We channel our inner Indiana Jones as we cut our way down the trail toward tonight's camp at the ranch house.
Now it's high enough to trail.
All in all, though, it's really fun.
Good technical driving. It's fun to actually engage the lockers and do some work on a trail. A part of the world where we've never been before.
So they said Adrian is providing dinner tonight. So he brought a local sausage that we're gonna make up. He says what they do is they cut it in half and put it on a tortilla. So we also got some local beef. And so we put a little salt on it. We got some natural charcoal happening over here. And then it's real easy. We're just gonna make some rice to go with it. Chips and beans as an appetizer. So tonight is a meat dinner. And then
That's amazing.
There's nothing better than a big steak at the end of a hard day, especially off the back of your rig in Costa Rica.
Get to these areas and wake up and see what's around you. This place is pretty spectacular.
Oh, check his chicks out.
We head up to the ranch house to meet our hosts. They're friends of Adrian's, formed when Adrian asked them if he could explore their land a couple years ago.
1 a.m. they were milking the cow where we were sleeping.
Oh, wow.
And then now at 1 p.m. again.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Mozzarella-ish.
Yeah, exactly. It's good.
Steven, gentle. Don't eat your hand.
Come to find out, Caesar is a famous long-distance horse racer, and he's proud to show us his best horse.
Arenal Lake round. You have bought it for 4 times. How many kilometers? ¿Cuántos kilómetros?
160.
160 kilometers.
Holy cow.
On horseback around the lake.
Yes. In a race.
In a race.
This is really cool for me to see because I grew up around this kind of stuff. They really care for their animals. I mean, these horses are just beautiful creatures, and they take a lot of pride in what they do, which is always fun to see.
Salud.
After great conversation, they let us in on a secret spot. His son Junior shows us the way.
reminder, just showed us this like childhood swimming hole where he used to come and play and swim, and it was just so much fun. And he said like, this is my home and it's your home also. It just shows there's really cool people, and we just got, you know, feel pretty blessed and lucky to be able to see all this. It feels good!
Refreshed, it was time to get moving. Our target is an abandoned highway project along the border of Nicaragua and Costa Rica. The idea here was that if the road was built, people would move to the area, populating it, and making Costa Rica, which is a non-militarized country, less vulnerable to their militarized northern neighbor, Nicaragua. The plan backfired. Corruption led to the project going broke, and people left instead. And this bridge is the last one to be finished, leaving miles of unfinished and unconnected roads cut through the jungle. A few kilometers later, we find our first obstacle.
Oh! Because the bridge is gone here, but they built another one over there.
It's gone, all right.
Yeah, but it's one on the other side. They built it.
Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Adrian finds the owner and sees what he will allow us to do to get across it.
If we decide that it's safe to pass and we won't break his bridge, or if we break the bridge, we were willing to help him rebuild it and you know, fix it. He's willing to let us pass, you know. So he wants us to go with him to check it out, see what happens.
So this is his personal bridge that he built. We think we'll be all right. The width is a little tight. The bridge it's pretty strong. These are very large timbers, but at the entrance to the bridge is an old fallen timber. We're kind of weighing our options of how long it would take to axe through a 18, 20 inch diameter tree. And if he's even willing to let us do that, he may not want it opened. So let's see what he says.
Are we finished
Here-
on the bridge?
Yeah, I think it's not much to, man. That will take a long time to cut that without a
Saw?
yeah.
Let's go look at that. Let's go look some more of that.
We hunt around for any other option to prevent having to detour hours out of the way.
Oh, there's no option here.
Yeah.
This is the lack of option. That's a good way to never have a forerunner again, is enter that quagmire. I think you would stop thinking about the door handles.
It seems we have no choice. We cannot continue here.
Let's look at the map. Let's go pour over map. As we talked a little bit more about it, it's obvious that he's keeping that log there for a reason. He doesn't want us to cut it. And I totally understand. He said even the police can't pass there. We'll just track it down and hopefully we'll get back into where we wanted to be without upsetting what this guy has set up. We have to respect and honor what he has, and we will plan our recreation outside of that.
Our detour takes us several hours, and as darkness falls, we find ourselves back on the abandoned highway. Or what's left of it anyway.
So what we're doing is we got a big hole here. We're going to get our max tracks out, and we're going to span the gap here with a double layer of max tracks. Make sure we don't slide off into this big washout that's going on up here. So.
Copy, Kyle. Come back a little bit past here, slow, just crawl it. Okay, right there. Come back a little bit driver. Nice and slow, just crawl it. Your back's on, good. Put a little driver, you'll fall back and hold the other side. Got it, perfect. Driver, right there, just hold that line right there. Yeah. Nice slow turns. Okay, cut it, driver.
Over our first farm bridge, several locals are walking out, pushing their bike through the muddy road. Apparently just 10 kilometers ahead is a great place to camp, if we can make it.
He says it's around 10 kilometers to the place that the bridge, but it's a nice place, hills where we can camp tonight, so we have fresh air near the river.
You know, Steve, the road's over here.
Yeah.
Were you listening to Kurt again?
He was, I didn't say a word. This was 100% organic stuck. He just took a little line and it shifted sideways on us like a foot and dropped down into a hole on that side. Are the bolt tires spinning on that side, guys? Okay, then we don't have a locker engaged on the back, so you got a flashing red light. Is the air compressor on? We get nothing out of the compressor. So let's track our wiring. Let's figure out why that
Kurt
is.
and Jeff fix an air compressor electrical connection. In the meantime, I'm supposed to move behind the Tacoma for a snatch extraction.
I don't know, man. Maybe one of these. Look at all these connections here.
Oh, what are we doing?
That's when I make a bad judgment call, mixing up Steve's left with my left.
Oh boy.
How you doing, Steve?
I told you the left side of this isn't too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let's go get the other part.
Go to the left of us. Go to the left side of us.
Other side.
What I got? Basically it worked. I'll go to the other side this time. No, I'll hug you real quick. Hook it up to the 4Runner, give you a quick tug backwards. You're going to be under load. Drive up on the max tracks. We'll have you out in the snatch. But just give it a little bit of oomph, not too much. We'll see how it tugs. Your other side's pretty stuck, so hopefully this does the trick. Okay. You're good right there. You're good right there. Call it. Call it.
It's really wounded.
People might be thinking right now that, oh, well, you should have had a mud terrain tire. Right. And you'd have got right through that with a mud terrain tire. Well, maybe.
We could have, probably.
Does that mean that it's the best tire selection for the trip, though?
Yeah, for doing 12,000 miles a lot on highways.
No. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, you could do it with a mud terrain tire for sure. You could do this whole trip.
Yeah.
There's trade-offs for sure. There's ride quality, there's noise, it's all that stuff. We did do a lot of pavement, but we also brought all the necessary tools that in the event, on the small case scenario, that we will be stuck this badly to get out. So, do I stand by an all-terrain tire selection? Yes, I do.
Absolutely. Right choice.
If you want to come down here and do Central America with a mud terrain, would that be a good choice too? Yes, it would be too. You're just going to have different trade.
You want to get stuck too.
Yeah, and you'll still get stuck with a mud terrain. And you'll still probably have to get your max tracks out or snatch out or winch out or whatever.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, team.
Yeah.
Good job, Steve.
Now I'm having fun because we're all out. And I can think about dinner.
Food.
I want to eat.
Back on solid ground, we make the distance towards camp, passing several roadside alligators and reminding us to find some higher ground.
Right there.
The next morning, we find ourselves perched in a tropical paradise. The disputed Rio San Juan lays just ahead. It's possible that this river may one day be used as a canal, transporting huge ships across the middle of Central America. An idea funded mostly by the Chinese to compete with the Panama Canal to the south. But today, it's just a river alongside a muddy, forgotten road, one that took a toll on us last night.
What is so funny?
As we pack up for the day, Steve finds my color blindness and the fact that I thought my shirt was a different color to be hysterical.
What is
Your shirt was, you thought your shirt was green. And this whole time, it's
You're real funny. Make fun of a colorblind kid.
I don't mean to.
I think Steve needs a nap.
Go ahead, Kurt. Take him out of here.
Get him out of here.
We move methodically through the jungle. The rains come and go, filling the air with humidity. With it now muggy and hot, we come across our first obstacle of the day.
And we could try to pick out some of these pieces of wood too. That'd be high risk. I mean, it could be done, but it would be high risk and a lot of work.
Another old bridge is in disrepair and not an option. Luckily, a local farmer is here to help us with a different solution.
Let's go look at the other bridge.
Hey, Ronaldo said he doesn't have any problem, man. If we want to do it, let's do it. And he believes he will hold it the way it is.
Cool.
Yeah. So
You guys think we should take the Tacoma first?
the heaviest one first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. The lightest one to see.
This farmer's helping us out a lot. He's bringing us some long wood from the old bridge that got destroyed. So we're reinforcing the bridge here in the bottom, stacked wood, and then doubling up in this old hardwood. Then we under here, under the back, slid it up against where it started to crack and reinforced it. We could.
Sweet. She ain't going anywhere. Locked and loaded. We're gonna drive across this beauty. Just how deep it is down there. So we're kind of standing on a little bit of old rotten vegetation, but there's some deep holes. So last thing we want to do is get a 4-rudder wet today. I was able to kind of just be thinking through it behind the lens, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong here, I'm on the hook for it. So that bridge was definitely not an option. It was just far too risky. But then we got permission to use this one, and they've had smaller like samurais that weigh nothing go across this. It's not all that comforting, because if you were to stack 5 samurais on there, would it still hold, you know?
Back end up and over. So bring it driver. You're all right. That's just that board settling. A little more. You got plenty of room over here on the driver's side. Okay, is that climbing? Take it nice and slow on the drop off. 1 foot in closing. Slow. Feel that front end come down to earth.
Simple crossing.
Nice and slow. Perfect.
The thing with being a driver on something like that is your eyes are just locked right in on your spotter. So I wasn't looking in my mirrors or anywhere else. Kurt is definitely the guy you want giving you direction on that.
The Tacoma weighs 7,700 pounds, plus or minus. It's right in that range when we came across the scales on the ferry in La Paz. So we are a little worried about that. It's probably 1,500 pounds more than the 4Runners, even their full loaded trim. So she's running down the highway pretty heavy. Probably even more, like 2,000 pounds more than the 4Runners, the way we've got them weighted out right now. So this will be the true test. That's 500 pounds more per corner per wheel. It's a lot on this wood. Where you feel it bowing under, a couple 100-pound man. 500 pounds is a lot. So we're gonna see what it does.
Slow coming through. Okay. Little bit passenger. Little bit passenger. Right there. Bring it in. All good on the back. All good seat. Okay. Looking good play. Feet on the front end. 2 feet. 1 foot.
Well, there we are.
Well, there we are. Mission accomplished.
Back on the trail, conversation stirs about our trip.
You look for these moments inside the greater, bigger moment. So the big trip of traveling through all these countries and seeing all these places, and then you have little pockets of really good off-roading and adventure like this, and that's a good way to do it, because you have to preserve your vehicles. If you do it the whole way, you wouldn't make it, and that's okay.
Totally fine.
That is what it is. It's the adventure.
Real. I love what you said, that this has become an abandoned place of the world.
Yeah.
It's forgotten about in nature, and the local people who live here have totally reclaimed it. Adrian brought up a really great point, that we may actually be some of the last people coming through here, as now the bridges are destroyed, bigger vehicles, more weather. Even that footbridge might become unpassable here within a few months. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, this is a little treasure that we get to go on here in the remote jungles of Costa Rica.
Yeah.
This experience is pretty unique. It's got controversy, remoteness, mystery, and technical aspects. An overlander's daydream. Another bridge is now in question.
I mean,
Well, that's pretty wild how they did that.
the only thing we have to worry about here is width.
It sits on strong, heavy
narrow.
trees with a combo of sticks, dirt, and sandbags for a base. However, it is very narrow. A small mistake here will put a rig hood down in the ditch, and you chest deep in water.
It's right here to start. Drastically. Right there, straighten it up. Perfect. Stay a little passenger. Looking good. Perfect, perfect. Nice and slow. Looking good. Okay, you're going.
We're about to get the other forerunners across when Adrian makes a critical observation.
It's gonna pour.
And it's gonna be really, I mean,
Okay.
all over.
So we have to make a decision right here.
Yeah, I
Quick.
think that you can tell it's just gonna pour. I say we get out of here.
I immediately reverse the truck and line up to cross back over the bridge. But the rain has already reached us. The mud is now slick as axle grease.
I feel good on that.
Now there's definitely no room for mistakes.